Welcome to my views and news. I am back with another video, some new stories for you. Firstly, Wollo front viewers. A few days ago, Tigray forces were swiftly moving towards Wollo from Koborobit, but tables have been turned on this front. It seems that Tigray forces have been pushed back from Wollo towards Koborobit. Question is, will TDF try to remain in control of Koborobit, or will it retreat towards Tigray? And what is the latest on this front? Gobiye, Koborobit, Kobo. Secondly, viewers, reportedly Tigray President Debretsion Gebremichael has held a virtual meeting, Zoom meeting with the Tigrayan diaspora. Some instructions have been passed to Tigrayan diaspora. What are these instructions about? We have some details for you. Firstly, viewers, Wollo front, if you remember, Al Jazeera claimed a few days ago that Wollo had come under ENDF control, but the reporting was inaccurate, incorrect. I don't know if Al Jazeera apologized or not. I did not see any apology from Al Jazeera. Back then, TDF was not even close to Wollo. TDF took control of Kobo, then Koborobit, and after that it advanced towards Gobiye. Last known TDF presence in Wollo was near Gobiye. TDF was trying to take control of Gobiye, and it was trying to cut off Wollo-Gashina road too. It managed to cut off this road once, and intense fighting was ongoing in and near Gobiye, and Tigray forces wanted to reach Amhara Gobiye. Their objective was to cut off Afar Amhara Gobiye road, Afar Wollo road. And if you remember, Tadesse Varede, in his first press briefing about this third phase of Tigray-Ethiopia war, said that Tigray fighters were in control of high places close to Wollo. I think he was referring to high places to the east of Wollo. So what happened after that? TDF was removed from western side of Wollo. TDF had cut off Wollo-Gashina road, but it was removed from this road. And now, reportedly, Gobiye has been retaken by Ethiopian National Defense Force. Gobiye was contested. I wouldn't say Gobiye was under full TDF control. It was contested. Now, Gobiye has come under full Ethiopian National Defense Force control. People say, Sajid, why don't you mention Amhara forces whenever you report about fighting in Wollo or Ediarke? Well, by default, Amhara forces are with Ethiopian National Defense Force. Whenever I say ENDF, it means that Amhara forces are there, especially in the Amhara region. ENDF, Amhara forces, Amhara militias, East Amhara Fano, which is on this front, they have managed to retake Gobiye. And now front line is near Koborobit and Kobo. And intense pressure is being exerted upon TDF in Koborobit, Kobo. Now question viewers is, can TDF remain in control of its gains in Wollo while Eritrean troops have entered Afar? While TDF is under immense pressure on northern front, on western front too. So can, in this situation, Tigray forces remain in control of their territorial gains in Wollo? I don't think so. I think TDF will have to retreat, because Eritrean troops, Afar forces, ENDF as well, now they can cut off TDF supply lines anytime. TDF's supply lines from Mekelle towards Wollo can be cut off. That is why I think Tigray forces will have to retreat from Wollo. Or you can say that now they won't be able to advance in Wollo. I think we discussed this point in yesterday's videos as well, that it would be difficult for Tigray forces to continue moving, advancing in Wollo. And that is what now we are seeing on the ground. TDF has lost Gobiye. Is it losing its gains or is it withdrawing? Of course, ENDF, Amhara forces, they'll say that, they are saying that TDF is suffering losses, it had to retreat. On the other hand, if you analyze this front objectively, I personally think Tigray forces will retreat. It is becoming increasingly difficult for them to continue their advance and to remain in control of their gains in Wollo. So we could see Kobo Robit coming under ENDF control as well. TDF will have to withdraw towards southern Tigray. Now TDF is in defensive mode, viewers, because it is being encircled on all sides. It wants to defend Tigray, and we could see withdrawal of Tigray forces from major cities in Tigray as well. Like we saw like we saw in November 2020. Tigray forces withdrew from Mekelle, Shire, Axom. They retreated towards central Tigray. So we could see the same if an all-out offensive from all directions on Tigray is launched. One point we must make clear is that it's not that all-out offensive on Tigray has been launched. We cannot say that, because from northern side only shelling is underway from Eritrea. Eritrean troops entered Afar, but they have not entered Tigray so far. So only fighting is in Hemra, close to Tigray, around Takeze, and perhaps on one front of Shirar. So it's not so far an all-out offensive on Tigray. If an all-out offensive on Tigray by ENDF, EDF, Amhara forces, militia, if it starts, then obviously TDF will have to go in defensive mode and try, it will have to just protect Tigray borders. But Gobiye has been lost. It's under Ethiopian National Defense Force, Amhara forces. Secondly, was Debretsion Gebremichael, Tigray president, has held a virtual meeting reportedly with Tigrayan diaspora. Some instructions have been passed. In coming days, you're going to see demonstrations across the world by Tigrayan diaspora community. What are the instructions passed to Tigrayan diaspora community? Because Tigrayan diaspora community played a key role in internationalizing this conflict. Since November 2020, we are seeing that Tigray diaspora played a key role in getting international support, in getting pressure built upon Ethiopian government, international pressure. And diplomatic efforts were also made by Tigray diaspora community members to further Tigray's position about this conflict. And we know that some lobbying firms have been hired as well by Tigrayan community, by Ethiopian federal government, especially in the US. The firms are being paid, working for their parties. In the meeting, reportedly, first point which has been communicated by Tigray government to the diaspora is that protests will be held across the world in coming days. And the issues going to be highlighted are firstly Eritrean peasants. that there must be complete withdrawal of Eritrean military from Tigray, so that Eritrea could be stopped from any military intervention in Tigray. Secondly, suspension of aid. No aid is arriving in Tigray now since the start of war in 24th of August. No aid trucks, no flights are landing in Tigray. It means that Tigray is without aid now. This issue will be highlighted too. Thirdly, protests will be held in front of embassies of Turkey and the United Arab Emirates, because these two countries in the first phase of Tigray-Ethiopia war supported Ethiopian government militarily. We reported dozens of flights from the UAE, from Turkey to Ethiopia. The flights were carrying weapons, drones, winglongs, TB2s, munitions, other types of weapons. They were supplied to Ethiopian government PM Abiy by UAE and Turkey in the first phase of this war. Now, once again, it could happen. That is why Tigrayan diaspora community will protest in front of UAE Turkish embassies, and one such protest will be held on the 15th of September in Australia, in Canberra, where Tigrayans will they'll march towards UAE and Turkish embassies. It will happen in other European cities and US as well. And meetings will also be held between Tigrayan diaspora community members and government officials in different countries, so that international community could be convinced to put pressure upon Ethiopian federal government and Eritrean government as well. So we are going to see demonstrations which have already started. On Wednesday, there was a demonstration in London, an impressive show by Tigrayans there. And I think on Thursday, a protest was due to be held in Norway. And in coming days in Geneva as well, Tigrayans are due to protest. So we are going to see more demonstrations across the world by Tigrayans. By the way, Ethiopian Eritrean diaspora community also protested in Washington DC 2 days ago. But I think Tigrayan protest in London was more impressive. It had more participants than Ethiopian Eritrean protest held in Washington DC in front of US State Department, I think, where Harmila Ragavi spoke too. So in coming days, we are going to see demonstrations, especially from Tigrayan diaspora community across the world. Thank you much.